Second. Perfect. Well, anyway, as I was saying, Michael is the head of the University of Southampton. Oh, sorry, Michael's the head of the university student mentoring at IntoUniversity. In his role, Michael oversees all delivery of the program at 41 centres across England and Scotland. Working with many university partners, Michael has a team to create mentoring opportunities for hundreds of young people and volunteers annually. Michael, thank you so much for coming today. I'm just going to hand it all over to you. And I know you said that you've got a lot to go through, so for everyone in attendance today, if you need to hop off, if it's going past sort of the half-hour mark, please rest assured that we are recording the session and we'll circulate this recording afterwards. But anyway, over to you, Michael. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thanks so much, Christopher. Yeah. Hi, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here this afternoon and talk through the opportunities we have to volunteer with IntoUniversity. I'm going to share my screen now to share some slides, but throughout my presentation, please do use the chat function to pop any questions in. I can come to them during, or I'll certainly, if not, I'll address them at the end. There'll also be some time for you at the end to unmute and ask me any questions you may have as well. So here we go. So like Christopher mentioned, my name is Michael. I am a regional operations manager for IntoUniversity, as well as being the head of university student mentoring. I'm based in London, but do oversee the programs of this particular program across our entire network, which is 41 centres across England and Scotland. So we are going to kick off today with an introduction to IntoUniversity, and apologies if I skip through some of the slides a little bit quicker than others. I just want to give you the key information that I think is most pertinent to why you're all here today. So IntoUniversity, we provide local learning centres where young people facing disadvantage are inspired to achieve. We are the largest higher education access charity in the UK, and 66% of our school leavers progress to university, compared with 27% of school leavers from similar backgrounds nationally. You can see here on the screen just a few sort of images as well as some of our programs in action. And in our last sort of reported year of 21 to 22, we supported over 40,000 students to achieve their potential. So why do we exist? Well, there's some sort of staggering stats that back up the need for our operation, for our programs to support the young people. And that is the young people that we work with are 18 months behind their peers by the time they finish their GCSEs or National Fives in Scotland. And by that, I mean sort of the average sort of literacy, maths and attainment rates are 18 months below that of their peers. The young people we work with are 4 times less likely to attend university and are 12 times less likely to enter a high tariff university such as the University of Southampton. The young people we work with are 60% less likely to be in a professional job across England, Scotland and Wales. Now, hopefully you agree that those 3 sort of stats on the screen there are something that we want to bust and sort of overcome, and provide young people that we work with as much of an equal opportunity to achieve their aspirations as that of their peers. And hopefully by volunteering with us, you'll be able to support us in that mission. So our program has sort of 3 main parts, which are academic support, which is an weekly after-school session with trained tutors to develop independent and successful learners. We have our focus program, which is a series of aspiration-raising workshops to support young people's journey to university or another ambition they may have. And then mentoring, which we're mainly here to speak about today, which is university and corporate volunteers providing their time to be inspiring role models and promote essential skills. Beyond that, we also have work experience, networking, and other CV building opportunities, which give insight to a whole range of careers to our young people. You can see here a map of where we operate, with Southampton being our most southern centre, down there at the bottom with Brighton. We have 12 in London, and then we're across most major cities and opening now into smaller towns and coastal regions as our next priority as we grow as an organisation over the next few years. So that was a brief introduction to us as a sort of whole organisation, and the specific programme that I work on and here to sort of mainly speak about today is University Student Mentoring Programme. Just to sort of clarify what that title means, the university student is the sort of mentor, and they'll be working with a young person. So you would be volunteering to work with a young person at the IntoUniversity Centre. So we've got some reasons here as to why volunteering with us as a mentor is such a wonderful thing to do. And that is the best thing about volunteering is seeing my mentee improve and think about their future career. So that's what a previous volunteer told us. 98% of our volunteers would recommend volunteering with IntoUniversity to others. So we also receive feedback through our evaluation forms for everyone that we work with. 97% of volunteers are more likely to volunteer again as a result of volunteering with IntoUniversity. So if it's something you see that you want to be a part of your sort of your career and your day-to-day and your week-to-week life going forwards, then this is a fantastic place to start or to build on any volunteering you already do. Someone else said that the best thing about volunteering is helping young people to develop their skills and be the best they can be. And a third volunteer told us the best thing about volunteering is feeling like I made a real difference to someone's life, which I hope you all agree is a really sort of affirming feeling to have. But also in this context, you can sort of know that you're making a difference, not just to someone's life, but also to the community that we operate in the Redbridge area of Southampton. So I'm going to play you a short video now that gives an insight as to a mentor's experience. Christopher, can you just give me a little thumbs up that the sound is working?
Yep.
My name is George, and I volunteer as a mentor at
We can hear it.
I think the education period, especially for young people, is the most critical part of anyone's life. And I think it's important that everyone has at least a mentor, that's someone that they can just help how to guide them throughout their studies. It's a lot more enjoyable than probably people think. It's not, there's no reason why it has to be boring or time consuming. The world relies on volunteers probably more so than people think. And I think it's a good idea to kind of get into the habit of doing something like that. So then in the future, post university, we can all kind of help out each other.
Wonderful. So if you decide to take up the opportunity with us, and this is sort of an outline of the journey you would take as a volunteer on the mentoring program. Every volunteer starts off with an online application. It's not particularly long or arduous, and there's a few questions and some personal information you have to share with us using an online form that you access through our IntoUniversity website, which I'll direct you to at the end. Second to that, you'll be invited to a training and selection session. This would most likely be online, but we do offer some in person where possible. This session would sort of go into more depth as to what the program is all about, a little bit more about IntoUniversity than what I've mentioned already today. It will cover sort of the safeguarding responsibilities and practices that you'd have as a volunteer with young people, and also give you an opportunity to practice designing a mentoring meeting and sort of getting some feedback as to that part of the training session as well. We would then go through the DBS/PVG checks and receive your references before you then come to the centre to meet the young person that you're going to mentor. Our expectation is that you would meet with a young person 10 or more times in one academic year. So if your mentoring relationship was to begin at this stage through the year, then those 10 meetings would happen fairly regularly. You'd be looking at sort of once a fortnight to achieve that. If you start mentoring with us at the beginning of the academic year, if you can do once a fortnight, then that's brilliant. But of course, we understand you've got other commitments as well. So long as you could sort of guarantee that you would do 10 plus meetings between the sort of beginning of volunteering to the end of the academic year, that would be what we would ask of you. We feel that that's a number where you can cover many different topics with the young people, both academic, future and social sort of goals that you would set with them, and for you to provide them with much impact and sort of inspiration as possible. Each academic year, we then host a mentoring celebration, which is held at the University of Southampton. And that's an opportunity for all of the mentoring pairs to get together and celebrate all the achievements of the young people and you as volunteers, as well as sort of capping it off with a nice celebration, lots of fun games and activities, and a chance for you to sort of network with other volunteers as well. Wonderful. So that is sort of a very brief synopsis of what mentoring looks like. I'm just going to take off my screen for a moment and sort of explain a little bit more about what that looks like in practice. So the IntoUniversity Centre is based on Redbridge Hill in Southampton. So if you were to become a mentor, you'd be paired with a young person who is aged year 6 to year 12. So that's roughly 10 to 17 sort of age range. You would be able to indicate to us which age group of a student you would most like to work with. And where possible, we would match you with that sort of age student. You set with the student a goal that's based on their academic area of interest or focus, something to do with their future thinking skills, and then also something to do with their social skills as well. Each session, you would pick to work on one particular goal. The objective is not to achieve that goal in one session, but instead to across that whole mentoring journey for them to achieve all 3 goals and develop where they can, basically. In terms of what you do, if you have the confidence and the skills to prepare a mentoring meeting from scratch, then that's brilliant. But if not, we have a whole directory of activities, meeting plans, and activity and sort of different suggestions of what you can do so that you and the young person can sort of arrive at the centre, be ready to go and get going with a really good sort of 45 minutes to an hour of sort of learning and development together.
So sorry to interrupt, Michael. Just
Yeah.
to say that I know that we have alumni not just from Southampton, but
Mhm.
all around sort of
Mhm.
the UK as well. So
Yeah.
if you're, it's fantastic. If you're in Southampton, but don't forget that this is an opportunity for anyone sort of around the UK.
Great point. Yeah. So all those centres that I put up on that map, thank you, Christopher. All those centres will be looking for mentors. So yeah, wherever your most local centre is, that would be fantastic to have you come along. Is there any questions at the moment about the mentoring program or the opportunity that I'm describing?
I've got a quick question. Can you hear me?
Yeah, go for it, George.
Yeah, hi, Mark. So you're saying we do sessions either in person or online. What sort of time is it, like during the day, or can there be evening sessions, even if
Yeah,
they're in
great.
person? Or
Yeah, great question. So our preference is that meetings are in person, just because the impact can be seen to have that little bit more long lasting, a little bit more sort of the relationship can be built easier with the young person. The in-person sessions happen sort of after school. So broadly speaking, that would be 3 p.m. until 5:30 p.m. It'd be a 1 hour slot in there. If it's a school holiday, there's much more flexibility to have it in the daytime as well. And if you can't make it in person, there are options to do some meetings online as well. But to answer the main part of your question, it'll be between the hours of 3 and 5:30, 95% of the time.
lovely. Cheers.
Anybody else with a question about mentoring? Go for it, Anna.
Hello. Yeah, I just wanted to ask, I think you mentioned that we could be mentoring people between the ages of 10 and 17. I just wondered whether we would need to be DBS checked for that. And if so, how would that be kind of like facilitated? How would we go about doing that?
Yeah, no, for sure. Great question. So once you've had your training and selection session, so you do the online application, invited to a training and selection process. Once you have once you've done that training, IntoUniversity then process a DBS for you. There's no cost involved for yourselves on that. And it's all done by our sort of in-house sort of system and team. Once that's cleared, then we will then invite you to come to the centre and meet the young person.
Okay,
Does that answer your
thank you.
question?
Yes, it does. Thank you very
Wonderful.
much.
Thanks, Anna. Anybody else at this point got a question? Okay, wonderful. So yeah, like I said, there'll be time at the end if anything comes to mind. But then there is another sort of volunteering opportunity as well that I wanted to share with you, which happens again at all IntoUniversity centres. But rather than it being a one-to-one mentoring volunteer opportunity, instead it is to support our academic support sessions. So again, we'll start off with a little video.
Before coming here, I never knew about the university, but then coming here, it showed me more about it and how I could go there and do whatever I wanted to. If it wasn't
Oh, sorry, I think we've lost the audio
after I
there.
came to university, they exposed me to.
Chris, did the audio go there for a moment?
Yeah, just for a moment.
Okay, I'll scale back.
it and how I could go there and do whatever I wanted to. If it wasn't for IntoUniversity, I wouldn't have like any knowledge about university in general.
Before I came to IntoUniversity, I didn't really think about going to university, but after I came to IntoUniversity, they exposed me to the different pathways you could choose after sixth form, and from there I started thinking about universities and what I could do.
So going into university is not that daunting as I thought. The whole process is not that big of a deal now, because there is support available. They're really into the welfare of the children, and I'm really happy about that, because it's not just about the academic support, but it's also about the mental other side of it. So yeah.
For Jack to come to IntoUniversity is great because it helps with his learning, and he will improve for the next year for when he goes into year 5.
So I feel like IntoUniversity has helped me a lot. When I was applying to university, all the things that I put on my personal statement were mostly from IntoUniversity, and also IntoUniversity gave me the chance to do work experiences and internships and just the valuable skills I needed in life, and those skills I could put on my personal statement and also use to apply for uni.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think I like great stuff. So you'll see there you've heard from sort of students, past and present from IntoUniversity, as well as their family and carers as well. So academic support.
Before we move on, sir, we do have a question from George. George asks, can the sessions be held on weekends, or are they weekdays only?
Academic support happens Monday to Thursday and just through the week. Very rarely do IntoUniversity programs happen at the weekend. Only sort of a few occasions throughout the year does that happen.
Excellent. Thank you.
Wonderful. So yeah, the outcomes of academic support are to support students to improve their attainment at school, to improve communication, teamwork, and leadership skills, to raise aspirations and increase knowledge of future options, and to develop confidence, self-esteem, and motivation of the young people. So it's a very the name of the session is academic support. That is ultimately something that the young people we work with require our sort of additional support with, and that is there's no limit on what's a better way to say it? Students don't have to be at a certain level of learning to access our support. We don't just work with students who are sort of quote unquote on track to go to university, but any level of learning is welcomed at an IntoUniversity centre. So as a volunteer at academic support, you would be working with sort of small groups of students to go through their curriculum work or to help them with homework or coursework. At times you might work one-on-one. At times that ratio might be 1:5 or 1:10. There will always be 2 or 3 IntoUniversity staff in the room as well. And you would very much be a part of that team, helping them to support the young people with whatever work they bring to the sessions. The secondary age students come to the centre for their sessions on Mondays and Thursdays. So if you'd be more up for like working with the secondary age students, that'd be Mondays or Thursdays. Our primary age students come after school on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Again, any questions about academic support?
We do have a question, sir. I'm just going to pull it up. The question is from Rhiannon, and Rhiannon asks, is there an overlap between mentoring and academic support, or do you try to keep them quite separate?
Fantastic question. Thank you, Rhiannon. Yeah, so there is an overlap. So in order to become, to have a mentor, the young people must attend academic support. So we see the 2 programs very much going hand in hand to support the students long term. So if they come to academic support, they are eligible to have a mentor. Usually their mentoring sessions would happen at the same time as academic support, or they might come on 2 separate days, depending on their availability. But yeah, they very much complement one another.
Excellent. Thank you.
Okay, so please feel free to keep typing questions or pop your hand up and I can come to you. What might be useful now, however, is if I show you how to apply.
Fantastic. Thank you.
1 second. So, often the simplest way, it's becoming more and more sort of pertinent and way of telling people to go about things. Simply Google IntoUniversity. It is the most straightforward way of finding us. Once you've done that, you can explore our website and find out a little bit more about what we do and build on some of the things that I've sort of introduced you today. In the top right-hand corner, there is the tab of, you can either go through the support us or work or volunteer with us on the top right there. Once you come through to this page here, you can explore our programs a little bit more through the innovative programs tab there. Look at our current opportunities. If you are seeking full-time employment, then please do look at that as well. But what we're here to speak about today is the volunteer with us. And through this tab here, you'll be taken to the place to apply. So you hit apply and then just complete this form. All the information will come through to us. We will then be in touch with you to organise a training and selection session for you. So that's go to IntoUniversity, hit work or volunteer with us, fill in the form.
Cool. Yeah, I think I said basically my mind was like most likely.
Thank you. Christopher, that's all the sort of information that I had for this afternoon. But yeah, like I said, please, I'm free to stay for any more questions if people want to ask, sort of more of a small group or ask in the chat. That's absolutely fine. But thanks so much for your time, everybody. I really hope you find sort of the work that we're doing interesting and most importantly, useful for the communities that we serve. And we'd be really, really keen and excited to have you on board as a volunteer with us.
Excellent. Thank you ever so much, Michael. I'm more than happy to open the floor to any additional questions. I know that some of you have been typing away in the chat, but if there's anything else that you'd like to ask, please feel free to unmute your mic and ask away. And likewise, as I should say, I will be circulating this video as well as the next steps to everyone in today's call and those who were unable to make it as well. And if there's any further questions, please do get in touch. Sorry, we've got a question from Tammy. How many references would be required? Thank you very much, Michael.
No problem. So we ask for 2 references and for at least one of those to be a professional reference.
Excellent. Thank you, Tammy, for your question.
Thank you, Tammy.
Okay. Well, I think that is everyone. Well,
so if there's, sorry, Christopher, if there was any other questions, I'll put it into the chat here now. But the inbox to be in touch with is volunteering@intouniversity.org. So if you have any questions, you feel free to fire it there as well.
Amazing. Thank you, Michael. And thank you everyone for joining us today on your lunch hour. We very much appreciate it. And we hope that you go forward and apply for this fantastic volunteering opportunity. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thanks, everybody.
Have a nice rest of your day.
Lovely. Cheers.